Welcome back, everybody, to channel Veracity Trigger. I'm your host, Veracity. We're going to be covering Jazz today. Let's get into it.
And as usual, stay triggered. Pew pew pew.
Okay, Jazz, gender female, age 23, class assassin. Background: a rune knight from the United Islands of Morelva and a schoolmate of Tim's. From his time of Morelva Academy as a teenager. As a tattoo artist, she loves nothing more than giving tattoos to beautiful people. This led her on a journey all the way to the Holy Ghost of Empire in hopes of tattooing Tim. Like most Morelva natives, she is free-spirited and quite knowledgeable about much of the continent. Jasmine's over-friendliness towards Tim is viewed with great suspicion by Ginger. Okay, it's very strange there, but she should technically be a knight of Morelva, but she's with, obviously, Holy Ghost of Empire. So what is she about? Well, you have an assassin class. Starts off as a dancer class. They're actually really good characters. A little tricky to play as because they're evasion characters, so you have to make sure they've got great evasion. Now, as an assassin, she's actually pretty good. 107 agility, that's quite high. There are assassins that are better than her with the agility stat. I've noticed that. But you can use her, and she's really, really good. I think she does come a little bit later. I don't think she comes in initially in the game, but you'll get her later on. Just make sure you keep a healer nearby or protect spell or something just nearby, because the chaining effect in this game can really dampen her growth, okay? But she is mountain preference terrain, so essentially the female equivalency of the monk class in this game. You come with a double, I think they're butterfly knives. I'm not exactly sure what they are. They're double ninja blades or something like that. You get a light piece of armor here for your chest. You get a gauntlet. You get a ring. It's really nice. The really cool thing about them is you have this critical rate up S. Now, what does that do? Increases chances of landing critical hits by 25%. So it just makes it more available to you to get a crit chance. So increases the ability to get the crit chance by 25%. Versus whatever the normal percentage is, which I guess is just random. So basically 3/4 off, essentially. Evasion up, increases evasion by 25%. So the great thing about that is agility, 107 plus the equation with whatever that is of evasion plus 20%. If you don't want to go into that, basically just know that evasion is going to be sky high. If you put them on a mountain terrain, they'll probably have better evasion than a monk, I think. Just because of this evasion up here. They could beat out a monk on the mountain terrain. So this is one thing that can actually beat up a monk. And this is one type of character that can do very well in a lot of situations. Now, just don't get chained in when Rudo's doing his, his CMR move on you, and you'll be fine. Double movement. This is also nice, but this isn't exactly double movement. This basically means that allows you to move again after an attack if they haven't used up their mobility for that turn. So you get to use, what it should say is use all your movement ability. So if you can move one turn, hit the enemy, you move in one turn, hit the enemy within a square, one square over, one hex over, hit them. Now you're able to pull back as many spaces as you can if it's not completely chained in by a whole fence of enemies. It depends upon the situation and how many enemies you're moving in between. The game will tell you what you can and cannot do. I can't tell you first off exactly how it's going to happen, but if you move in between two enemies, it's really going to restrict your movement outside of that to pull back out. So you got to be very, very careful if you're going to push into a crowd with double movement. Be very careful with this one, okay? As far as her stats are concerned, she's pretty good. 678 HP, I like that. Attack of 150, that's really nice. Intelligence of 57. Now this is where you're going to fall short, that I just have to say. She is an established character, but her intelligence is low. And if you get Divine Raid, you'll probably take 300 points of damage, maybe more. It's bad. It's just bad. So just try not to get hit by any holy spell, even a holy word. Even though I just told you in the previous one that magic is nerfed, she'll take a lot of damage for it. Intelligence is bad. It's just not good. Best thing you can do for her, throw some loop heals to her, and also make sure you got a protect spell nearby. You've got some healers for her. She will get hit periodically, even though the evasion is quite high. If you get hit, you're going to feel it, and 2 or 3 hits from anything good from a Paladin or Rudo or Divine Ray, she'll go down. Just be careful, okay? Otherwise, if she's on a mountain terrain or you change your boots to be in a forest or something like that, congratulations, you just made her effectively way more evasive than you could. But the command range of 4 is awesome. The rune growth of B is awesome. 251 just in level 23 is actually very awesome. So you get these particular skills here. The ones on the bottom, we can cover that a little bit. It's not that big a deal, but, you know, let's cover this one here. Evil Cross, normal attack, moderate damage, single adjacent enemy unit. Not much home to write, you know, not much to write home about. It's 130 power. It's actually quite nice. Accuracy boost. Doesn't cost you any MP. You can do this on the fly. Now, all these other ones are pre-moves, which means you're going to have to stand there for a turn and then do it, which will be kind of annoying, but the point is, this is why you have double movement. So here's what you want to do when you're playing a game. And you probably already know this, but those of you that don't know this, let me give you a little hint here. You use your double movement, you go and attack the enemy, and then you can move to wherever you want, right? So situate yourself in the next turn exactly where you want to be so you can pull off a ghost hit, a bewitching step, a fatal darkness. So move your butt over to a space where you're going to be, where you're going to do this turn next. And then at that point, the next turn, you do ghost hit. And then you have double movement again to pull yourself out of a dangerous situation in case they pincered you. So you can do this the next turn. So this is kind of the trick. You kind of like move in, do a super attack, pull out to a safer spot. If they try to get you again, you do your super attack, pull out to a safer spot. You can always kind of like shimmy in and away from danger, depending upon how you want to play. But this is a particular specialized character. So when you're playing this game, you're going to have to start thinking, where do I want to be next turn? Every single time you're playing this type of character, any kind of dancer class, really get into that mode of thinking about that. It'll save you a lot of trouble. So Ghost Hit deals major damage to an adjacent enemy unit. Power of 160. It's really nice. It does cost you 60 MP to do, so just be wary of that. Same accuracy, does give you 1 extra black orb. All nice and stuff. Bewitching Step, now this is a weird one because it does minor damage to a single enemy unit within a 2 hex radius, has a 30% chance of inflicting either poison, paralyze, silence, faint, petrify, or charm. It can basically turn them into all kinds of things that it just lists down there, right there. So it can do all that stuff, which is really cool, but it has 1 to 2 space radius to do it. It only costs 30 MP, but it doesn't have much power. This is basically when you want to do just a little bit of damage to something, but you want to kind of gamble on petrifying them, or charming them, or silencing them. Now the chance is very low. It could happen. It's basically like if we look down here, right? And we're looking at Venom, right? Okay, so I'll just move my head for a second here. Let's move my head out of the way. This and this, so this is weird, but you're going to get both of these as you get her to the final class. So you get, well, what's the point of Venom if I got Bewitching Step? Bewitching Step does more damage, and it costs less. And this one has a 20% chance of inflicting poison, and this one has a 30% chance of inflicting poison. Why would I do this if I got this? Well, this one's not just poison. This could be silence, paralyze. You know, the thing is, okay, I'll bring myself back in here. The thing is, it might not poison them. It might just silence them. And you might say, well, that's good enough. It's not really good enough. If they're a dragon and they're silenced, they can still spew breath on you. That won't do you any good, because silencing a dragon doesn't stop it from doing breath attacks. I know it seems like it should, but it doesn't. So this one you have to kind of think. This is the type of character that's going to make you think. It's really going to make you think. And it's going to be fun, too, because you're going to be like, well, it's not going to be effective to try to silence this dragon, so why not just use Venom and just poison him? I know it sucks because it costs 15 more MP than it does with this one, but that's what you're left with. You're left with a lot of tactical options as far as how you want to take down your monsters. So that's why you have this, and I think it's pretty cool. And the fact is, this is only 2 spaces away, and Venom is 3. 3 spaces away. So if you really got to get them from far away, then you got to go with Venom. So now comes her final, really, really good attack. Fatal Darkness deals massive damage to a single adjacent enemy unit. Critical rate is increased. So not only do we have critical rate up here, but you have a very, very good chance because you're already minusing 25% off the top to do a crit. And this is also increasing the crit rate by some unknown modifier. So that on top of that, boom, you're probably going to crit. If you don't, I'm sorry, but you're very likely going to crit. And the power's 200. It's amazing. It does cost 110 MP. If you want to save all your MP for this, I would highly recommend doing that because power of 200 is almost like Rudo's CMR move. Clean military rule. Just to break it down in case you need to know. But it's going to be very powerful. And if you do this and you crit Rudo with this, you could maybe kill the dude with Fatal Darkness. So maybe save this for Rudo and take the gamble chance to do that. That might be really cool. Either way, fun character to play. You have a dimension spell. You can try it if you want, but because of her intelligence so bad, you're probably not going to land the shot. Even against a dragon, it's probably not going to happen. Venom could happen, but like I said, Bewitching Step or Venom depends upon what you want to do. You want to maybe turn them to stone. If they're maybe they are a fellow mage or mage, you might be able to silence them. So if it's a mage, you could hit them, do some damage, and you might be able to do silence. It'll do one of these things, not all of these things. Just make sure you remember that. And then you got Gravity, which if you can't get in the front line, and all you can do is make an enemy just more available to be hit. Let's say you're going up against another fellow dancer. You put Gravity on her. It'll give you a better chance to hit her, and her a worse chance to probably hit you because it lowers their agility. So basically, it's a 3-turn, like you get Protect, you get Ward. This is an anti-evasion skill here for the enemy. So that's pretty much all there is to this. You just have to be very tactical when you're playing a dancer class. If you don't want to do that, change her to an archer. You can do that, but she's very good as a dancer, and I like to use her, and it's a lot of fun. Some of the really good teams to run with are actually Tim. Tim works very well with her because Tim's like a ninja already. So they can bounce around back and forth and do all kinds of damage, all kinds of things. And yeah, try her out, but just be very careful of magic damage. Okay, that's all I got to say about Jazz. And yeah, enjoy playing the Holy Ghost of Empire. If you enjoy this, you know, do something to help the channel down below. I'll see you in the next episode.